How is everyone doing today? Hello. I think we're live. I think audio is good. I think video is good. We'll just wait for everyone to come on in. Coffee stiff today. It's raining out. Shocker. I hope everyone is staying safe and is well and in good health wherever you may be. I am outside of Seattle. When is the SLO, the Soldano SLO video coming? The video's been done for several weeks. Soldano held off on putting it out because the factory is shut down, so they don't want to actively promote a video and have everyone want to go and get the amp and have nothing to sell, which makes sense, but like they had me hurry up and make the video. Nick Pilata's in the house, guys. By far the most handsome guy in this chat right now. Promise. He smells real good, too. Nick, I love you. How did you and Bill Kelleher become friends? He referred to you as a good buddy on his Instagram. Yeah, well, I started out doing the lace pickup videos way back in the day, and he saw those. And then whenever he was searching for gear, he would always come upon one of my videos. And then met him at NAMM a couple of times throughout the years. Hey man, hey, what's up, dude? And then he started remembering my name. And then when I got into the Helix stuff, he was getting into the Helix stuff and he had some questions. And one day I get a message from Bill saying, hey, can I call you? I was like, what? Pretty crazy. Yeah, Bill's fucking awesome. Ted in the Shed, thank you so much for the super chat. Your question is, are you going to demo the Angle Savage 120 Mark II? I do not have a Savage. I have an Invader, which I still do need to make a video of. If I get a hold of a Savage, yes, I would love to. Symbolic 789, you're in Sumner. What's up? Have the winners of the Chelsea Mix contest been chosen yet? They have not. Warren's people are still boiling everything down to I think they're doing a top 20 or 30, and me, Warren, and Matt, and Jeff will then go through those 30. But I think they're still sorting through the submissions because, real talk, there was way more than anyone thought there would be. There's like, I think there's like 4,000 or 5,000 entries. Like, it's like really fucking crazy. Fluff, good sir, what are your thoughts on Motor City pickups? Funny you mentioned that. I just put in a second degree black belt in my Gibson RD over the weekend. And I actually really, really like it. It's really good. It's really, really nice. My buddy Bo Burchell sent it to me. Cantrell likes them. So I thought, you know what? Good enough for Jerry, good enough for Dad. And shit, it's really nice. What is the tuning I use the most? Drop C sharp generally. What do I think about the Bogner Shiva EO34? Did you try one? I have tried one. I actually had one here at the house that I was borrowing from my friend John from the home team, which I can borrow again. I had it for like a week and I couldn't get to making a video. I just didn't have time and he had to take it back. But I did have one here. Remember the Marshall Mode 4 sounding like the best amp I've ever played through. Probably wrong thinking back on it now. Love to hear you put it through the ringer now. I actually remember really liking the mode. I remember liking channels 3 and 4 of the Mode 4. I should get one. Should I invest in a baritone guitar, or should I just use a thicker gauge of string if I want to play in tunings like drop G sharp? If you're going to go as low as drop G sharp, you should absolutely get a baritone. Hey Fluff, how hard is it to mix one of Rob Scallon's videos? Most of the time, real tough, honestly. Dustin Brown, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate you. Your question is, new Ghost Inside is sick. Thoughts? I love it. They're friends of mine, but aside from that, the music is fucking awesome. And they didn't miss a beat. And arguably, from what I've heard, I would say it's some of their best shit they've ever put out. That's just my opinion. I really, really love Ghost Inside, and I love the new stuff. They're killing it. They're real killing it. The slated boards. My sound treatment is from a company called Vicoustic USA. I've had them for a long time. JC Moore, thank you so much for the super chat. What is your current favorite brand of coffee? You know what? I actually just really, really like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. However, anything that is basically a medium roast or a lighter roast, I enjoy. Which has kind of changed over the years because I used to like the dark stuff, burnt. But having learned how to make, like how they make coffee and stuff, like burnt is the easy way to go. And burnt, I kind of got over the real dark stuff. I do love going to, when we're on tour, I love going to small shops and finding like a real good cup of coffee from a local coffee shop though. How many pedal boards do I have? I don't have any pedal boards. Any thoughts on the upcoming Neural DSP Quad Cortex? It's Neural DSP. It's going to be fucking awesome. I got to play with it in the loud setting that is NAMM, but, anything Neural and Doug and company do is going to fucking kill it. So, I'm sure it's going to be a huge success. I hope it's a huge success. Jake, thank you so much for the super chat. Your super chat question is, what is the best way to actively promote your band and actually see results, recognition from labels and big brands? What would Fluff do? Well, I'll tell you what I did. Drake Dunder just signed a record deal. I think we're announcing that this week, but I'm allowed to talk about it, so whatever. We just signed a record label, a record deal, and the things you have to do is get in front of people and get their attention. And how you get their attention is to just play your fucking ass off. And when they do come and see you, you better have real good songs. It all starts with the song. Work on your craft and your songwriting. Good things will come, and that sounds like such a cop-out. 100% true. Fluff beard maintenance video. I mean, maybe? Nick from Into the Flood, good morning, sir. Worst amp head that I've ever tried that wasn't cheap. Honestly, thinking back, I liked it at the time, but then over time, I just grew to not like it at all, was the Randall Thrasher. Because it sounded nothing like the prototype hand-wired Thrasher that everyone tried at NAMM. The production models had a lot of problems, and I think there was something wrong with mine looking back. In terms of playability, do your Gibson RDs feel any different to your old custom Hyperions? Yes and no. The neck profiles are different, but fundamentally, no, they feel pretty similar. The bodies on the Hyperions are a little thicker. How do I feel about Evertune? It's a great tool, especially in the studio. I thought about having a tour guitar Evertuned. Drop the skincare routine already. I don't have a skincare routine. Shampoo? Shampoo. And then that's it. Are Ibanez bases good? Yes, I would say so. What is the go-to amp when riding with amped roots? Either the Freeman or the EVH. The one I use the least is the PV5150. I don't really... I should interview the beards in your channel. Or I should. I have a new interview series called Beard Chat. The first guy, the first interview is Mr. Stay Metal Ray. That video is done. My skincare is once every 3 weeks. You be good on tour. Are PRSs fast playing? Yeah, they can be, I guess. Depends on the neck profile. Favorite Mark Series amp? JP2C. Which I actually have on order. I'm getting another one. Because I regret getting rid of my other one. Thoughts on digital amps like the XFX Kemper? Are you a fan? Yeah, I mean my live rig. My Dragged Under live rig is right there. That has a Helix. Oh, thank you, Nick. I'm glad you're enjoying. Dude, Nick, do you have an unlock code? You have the full plugin, yeah? Have I tried the PV Butcher? I've tried the original one, yes. The one from the 80s was fucking awesome. $60 Hum just went live? Met him before NAMM this year. Ryan is a very, very nice dude. I love what he does. Tyler Britton, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm looking to get the AFY for my Kiesel with similar spec to Jerry's blue dress. Please make a Motor City video. I'm thinking of the same thing as you about being good enough for Jerry. I'll probably make a video about the pickup. It's very middle of the road. It's kind of like a Duncan JB, but a little bit more throatier, a little less output, which is really, really nice. Nick, text me the license key code in the license section. I will get you an unlock for my plugin. Using the HX Stomp direct to front of house. Is it good? It's real good. I do that for all the NAMM demos, actually. Any brands you consider buying for lefties that you consider buying from? Just in general? Schecter, LTD, Ibanez. Aiden, thank you so much. I hope all is well in Pennsylvania, man. The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here Music Bank. I mean, you know, Lane Staley Alice in Chains is the definitive Alice in Chains for me. Obviously, because I'm old and that's all I knew for most of my life. However, The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here has like one of the best guitar tones ever. So, but I'd have to say Music Bank, even though that's a compilation and not an album technically. What bass do you use to record ideas for Dragged Under? TuneTrack Easy Bass. I don't ever use real bass anymore. Honestly, everything you guys have heard from me for the last year on the YouTube demo stuff has been MIDI bass, which upsets a lot of people, but for speed and ease, it's just easier to program it. The Euro Ricer, thank you so much for your super chat. I've never seen Ryan Bruce and Fluff in the same room. Are you the same person? No comment. Will Dragged Under ever come to the UK? Yep. After all this COVID shit is over, basically next year we're going to be doing what it will equate to a world tour. What's the process writing for Dragged Under? It's me, Tony, and Hiram. It was me, Tony, Hiram, and Josh. Josh has left the band. But basically it's all of us getting in a room. It was all of us getting in a room and trading guitar ideas. That's really all it is. Does Tacoma smell bad right now? It does not. Tacoma used to smell bad in the 80s. Nick, you're triggered. Okay, so your question is, Mr. Roland, what do you think of the Rate My Mix entries? What is your approach to listening to almost 2,000 entries? The answer is we don't. Warren's interns are tasked with listening to them all. Everything is going to get boiled down to their favorite top, I think it's top 30. And that's when myself, Matt, and Warren and Jeff will start listening to them. Have you ever tried a rack preamp like the Mesa Boogie Triaxis? I have. What happened to Josh? Josh had to step down. Josh had cancer a couple years ago, and his health is fragile. He's in good health. However, this last tour with the Used, his health declined in a very, very serious way. And we got home, and we sat him down, and we all discussed it. And he is not healthy enough to tour and be in a band that tours right now. We still love each other. He's still riding with us, but he is not an active member of Dragged Under anymore. Tyler, thank you for the super chat again. Also, I really appreciate my AC covers. I think you'd really appreciate my AIC covers. Be stoked if you checked a few out. Vocals and instrumentation is all me, please. Yeah, sure, I'll check it out. What do I think about the SD, the Seymour Duncan JB pickup? One of my favorite pickups of all time, honestly. You're stuck at Walmart waiting for a cab home. Terry, where do you live? Thoughts on using a 2-notes captor with something like an orange microdark? All good, go for it, do it. You're not going to blow up your amp. Chivalry 218, thank you so much for the super chat. What picks are you using nowadays? I'm using these Dunlop Flex 88 millimeter, 0.88 millimeter. I find that the bigger surface area, I tried these out at NAMM. Brian Kehoe was like, you should try these because I have a big old thumb and I feel like I can get more leverage and work less hard on the pick because of my large ass thumb. Whereas a normal pick that I've been using for a gazillion years, I feel like I always have to kind of angle it to get the leverage that I'm looking for, if that makes sense. Also, if I shave or wear down one tip, I just rotate it and use another, and then rotate it and use another. Because on tour, I go through a lot of picks. I actually ran out of picks on the last tour. What's the story of Tanner leaving Rest Repose mid-tour? His voice gave out, and we sent him home. Will you be doing an easy bass video in the near future? I will be. They're looking at it right now because I did just do one. Favorite restaurant in Tacoma? Church Cantina. Has the, like, real talk, if something happens to me, God forbid, and I fucking die, I want everyone to celebrate my life by going to Church Cantina and ordering the chicken mole tacos. Because, holy shit, their food is unbelievable. I actually had my birthday there with my family last year. Angel, I hope you get your apartment, dude. Love your cheapest guitar videos. Thank you, Mr. Ryan King. Chicken or duck? Chicken. Favorite budget guitar for young players? Honestly, the Fender Squier stuff is really killing it. Les Paul or Strat? God, both. My favorite guitars on the planet are my Music Man Sabres and a Gibson Les Paul. And a Gibson RD. Like, I love Gibsons and Fenders. All other guitars, I'm like, meh. Will we come down to Revolution in Fort Lauderdale next tour? That depends on if your booking agent wants us or not, or your promoter wants us or not. How a tour works is generally our booking agent goes to the network of promoters and they go, hey, these guys are trying to tour. Who wants them in their town? And it's up to the promoters in each town to go, me. And if they don't do that, then we don't come. That's literally, it's as simple as that. Is there a region in the U.S. you didn't anticipate liking but ended up liking? Chicago, the Midwest area in Chicago specifically. I love. Can I get Nick Plata? Can I get a public announcement that you'll call me on my birthday? Nick, when is your birthday? I will absolutely call you and tell you that I miss you and that I love you. It's not your birthday today, is it? I know you had a Power Stage 700 briefly, and it was not the size you wanted. Is it still comparable to the Matrix? Yeah, it sounds really, really good. I wish the rack was like a 1U rack, but the rack, to my horror, was like 1.5, and I can't spare a half rack. I need all my spaces, so that's why I didn't use it. Ever been to Kansas? I think the Sleep City tour, there was a stop in Topeka. In Amp, the Friedman is your version or the original? It is a sonic capture of my custom Friedman Butterslacks. How do you guys deal with being together for so long on tour? Is there a point where each one of you get tired of each other? Absolutely. When we stay at hotels, I'll get my own hotel, or me and Tony will get our own hotel to distance ourselves from the others because they're very, very loud, and me and Tony are typically working on our laptops and need to get work done, like video editing, emails, and the other guys do not have that responsibility, and they're usually going nuts and getting super loud until the wee hours of the morning, so me and Tony will typically get our own room. Thursday. Okay, Nick, I'm calling you Thursday. Are Dragged Under coming to Sweden in 2021? Probably. Yep. Have I ever been to Warmouth? I used to live just down the street from Warmouth. I used to pass it every day. I've never been inside, though. Envy is a good song by Rob Scallon. Mm-hmm. If you could go back and change any mix or tone on an album which has a notoriously bad sound, which album would it be? I don't know, man. Any thoughts or opinions on the PV Triple X? I like the Triple X a lot. Have I met Dave Grohl? I have not met Dave Grohl. Favorite Dragged Under song? Probably The Real You or Hypochondria. Do you think I could plug the Helix USB into my PS4 to use as a headset? No. If you guys want to see me on Coffee with Ola, then you guys need to hit him up, man. I don't decide that. I would love to. Ola's an old homie. Dragged Under tour with the Used. We just got done touring with the Used. Do you still work with Rob Scallon anymore? I do not. Not really. First Megadeth album does sound horrible. What's your favorite guitar tone in an album? Oh, man. The last couple of Alice in Chains have been fucking awesome. Crack the Sky from Mastodon. Clayman from In Flames. Jake, thank you so much for the super chat. Your question is, after COVID, my band wants to do a West Coast tour and we don't have a booking agent right now. How would you start getting everything lined up? Well, honestly, you're going to make yourself a list. If you're not ready for a booking agent, you're going to make yourself a list of the cities you want to go to and the tentative dates. And you're going to contact and you're going to use Facebook to search bands in that area, and you're going to contact those bands and say, hey, is there a gig that we can jump on? And that's what you're going to go super old school. That's how you initially get the fuck out of town. Dragged Under tour with Ghost. I mean, that would be a weird bill, but it would be amazing. Dead Heart in a Dead World or Devil Put Dinosaurs Here? Fuck. I guess Devil Put Dinosaurs Here. I guess. That's a reluctant answer. Do I like the Mesa Boogie TC50? I do. Oh, you went to the Austin show. The Austin show was sick. Thanks for coming out, Logan. Ever been fishing? Oh, man, not since I was a kid. Like, little kid. How's that build guitar? How's your build guitar playing after all set in over a few days? The Fender, the Stu Mac Strat, is honestly one of my favorite Strats I've ever played. It's so awesome. It feels so good. And the tuning stability is insane. Mario Duplantier or Braun Daler. Ugh. Fuck. I guess Braun. That's a trick question. They cancel each other out because they're equally as good. Yeah, thank you for all those super chat, guys. Thoughts on the EVH 412? It's very, very good. Hello, Rudy. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the chat. I don't know why I spoke in German. How do you like the Pod Go? I haven't even tried it yet. I mean, I tried it at NAMM. I got one. I haven't had time to open it yet. Actually, I should probably do that today. Pod Go. Yeah. Are you a fan of the new wide-body Hellcat Chargers, or do you like the early 70s Chargers? I like both. Thoughts on the Metallica Master of Puppets tone? I mean, it's a classic tone. Do you follow a diet? Looks like you've losing weight. Not really. I try to, now that I'm home and my girlfriend's home, she's vegan, she cooks us dinner a lot. So I think just by my situation, I'm just eating less bullshit. Left to my own devices, I would eat all bullshit. Thank you, Janie Torpanian. Fat Cat demo, it's coming, yes. It's a great amp, by the way. Will I ever show you guys how well I can throw an axe in my flannel? Maybe? Is the Boss Katana the best affordable amp or just overhyped? I mean, it's definitely hyped up, but it is at its core, it is a really good amp. Which tone would I rather remix, Injustice for All or Cowboys from Hell? Oof. All I would do with Justice for All is just add the bass guitar in. Caleb Shomo on Instagram Live said that you and him were doing Riff Wars. Any progress on that? No. I need to write the thing, because how it works is there's 3 drum tracks, and then we each do a drum track. Have I checked out barefaced audio cabs? No, I don't know what those are. Valhalla Coffee? It's alright. That's that Zach Wilds, right? Through Death Wish. I tried it. I was just like, oof. It just tastes like you're licking the inside of an ash burnt out barrel. Fluff, do you have drums? I do not. Can I hire you on Cameo to tell my wife an SRT Durango is a practical family vehicle? Yes, you can. Being on Cameo is actually a lot of fun. I get a lot of requests, like play jokes on bandmates and stuff. It's pretty fun. Should I stick with plugins or pull the trigger on Torpedo or 2 Notes Captor X for my Friedman Dirty Shirley? I mean, if you can afford the Captor X, I mean, you can always go back. It's not like you can't ever go back to plugins if you don't like the Captor X, but I suspect you would really, really like using your actual tube amp. I mean, Jared Dine's still cool. Yeah, absolutely. Bourbon drinker. What's my brand? Where's the bourbon? Oh, I don't think it's a bourbon. Is it a bourbon? It's Knob Creek? That's not a bourbon, is it? I like Knob Creek. Thoughts on the original Mesa Cab clone? I never tried it. Do I own my own company? I do. Everything I do goes through Riffs and Beards LLC. Universal Audio aux or 2-notes? I mean, it depends. Because the aux can't load IRs, right? Can't load third-party cabs. Knob Creek is a bourbon? Okay. I really like Knob Creek. I like the Knob Creek small batch. Borandini, hi. Hi. Thank you so much for the super chat. Your question is, really like the guitar tone on Ghost Opus Eponymous. Any idea what gear was used on that album? Maybe do a video. It was orange. It was mostly orange stuff, from what I was told. It was an orange. It wasn't a rock reverb. It was like 8030 and a rock reverb blended and an 800. Real traditional British tube amps. That's all it was. Not boosted, turned down. Mark Rice, thank you so much for the super chat. Your question is it possible to use an analog pedal like a fuzz or drive with an amp sim and get good results? It's possible, yeah. With fuzz, it depends on the fuzz. If it's going to be finicky about impedance stuff, blah, 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 and loading. But with most modern pedals, yeah, you can. You can run it with the fuzz pedal or like an octaver or an overdrive into the input safely. Favorite skate punk band from the 90s? NoFX, Lagwagon, or Strung Out? Probably Lagwagon, followed by Strung Out, followed by NoFX. You know what's also weird? Fat Mike started following me on Instagram like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, what the fuck? Would I buy a Marshall DSL 100 for $400? Yeah, I would. How many guitars do I own? I don't know. I think about 30. Hi Fluff, do you play your riffs in standard or drop tuning mostly? Mostly drop tuning. I'm trying to get better at doing more standard tunings. Hardest or most annoying song to mix? Backwards Enter Sandman with Rob Scallon. That was unbelievably hard. Will alternative music ever have success again like in the late 90s or early 2000s? I don't think so. That time will never happen again. Just like the 80s shred thing will never ever happen again. What bands will Dragged Under tour with in 2021? I am not at liberty to say, but they're awesome bands. Could I do a Motley Crue tone video? Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, currently I'm trying to do, well, so the reason why I ordered the JP2C is I'm trying to do a Nirvana Nevermind tone, which is actually turns out to be incredibly difficult, and Weezer's Blue Album. Those both require Mesa preamps and amps, so that's why I ordered the JP2C. I didn't know the JP2C would be like 4 weeks to build. Do you foresee bands starting to tune back up again? I feel like there's a comeback in D and C as opposed to 8 strings. Yeah, I do, absolutely. It sounds heavy again. Tuning up sounds heavier. because there's been so much of blah, blah, blah. Like, it gets old, just like anything else. Recreate the Black album tone. I could do that too. What was up with that 8-string guitar on your Instagram? It was a 9-string guitar. I actually just made a video. I think I'll put it out tomorrow. I try 9-string for the first time. Do I know how to slap on bass? No. Will Dragged Under ever come to Minnesota? We will. Thank you for loving my band. Any band suggestions for fans of Mastodon? Neurosis. Baroness. I don't know, maybe Cave-In? Nevermind had a Fender Bassman in the mix. On Lithium it did. Specifically, I'm doing In Bloom. And that is his DS1 into the Mesa Studio preamp into a Marshall 412. But the DS1 is so spiky and not great sounding, and you really need a Marshall 412 with 75s in it, which I don't have. I know you really love your Music Mans, but did you ever approach Schecter about an endorsement? I was endorsed with Schecter when this channel first started. Loosely, I had a loose endorsement going. Yeah, I was a Schecter artist long time ago. Hey, Chelsea Mix Contest winner. I do not have any info about that. I think they're still sorting through entries, as far as I understand, because there's a shitload. 3,000 or something like that. High on Fire. I love High on Fire. Will Dragged Under visit Denmark? I'm sure we will. Have I ever grown my hair out? I have. Just go back a couple of years on my videos. Favorite video game except Mario? Far Cry 5 is definitely up there. Do I think the Stingray bass is good? I do. Guys, it's been almost 45 minutes. I'm going to go make myself some lunch. Maybe have another cup of coffee. I appreciate you for hanging out. Thank you so much for your time. I hope everyone is staying safe out there. And I will see you tomorrow with a video. Probably a 9-string guitar video, which is ridiculous. But regardless, I heart you all. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you very, very soon. Fluff out.